deafening.
So
From the media, from the left,
and so
throw around words like
it's trying to get
they
a
don't
thing
seem to
here.
espouse any of its beliefs, namely on the Second Amendment.
Anyways, trying to look here
And so many others when it's not
on
convenient.
Trump, and so I was what do you call it is how people you're about to do something and then there's an app assault that kind of comes on right before you do things and it kind of like splits you, but where in turn it's done to you, but where you can't do it to other people, like this can be done to you but you can't do this to other people. I mean, how is that? You can't think, people can think bad things or think whatever they want about you, but you can't have an imagination about something without something or other. And so, to me, it's like living in a donkey republic like that, late-term abortion and stuff like that, and people who are so-called some type of patients or something like that. It's hypocritical. It's hypocritical, and it's a lie. It's a total lie, metaphysical lie. Because people say, "Oh, it's the hate you bring, or which is the love you bring from your hate." And no one hates you. You know what I'm saying? In general, they said be reasonable in general, okay, and stuff like that. It said being reasonable is within reason. Okay, it's not saying, we don't owe you this or something like that. Because you do this for us doesn't mean you like us or we owe you something. No one said all that. It's just the way your paradigm is, the way your schema activates. It's automatically you're programmed to like think in a collective thought, like, oh no, we don't like this guy, we don't like him, and sometimes we have a common denominator with other people, other races and stuff that don't like this kind of guy and stuff like that, which is too bad because the United States doesn't seem to have a problem with me, but at the same time, it's hard. It blurs the lines of like what people think or the conception is of the United States and what kind of they have support they have for people like me, capitalists, independent, conservative capitalists, and stuff like that. I don't think that. I don't think that. And that alone
is truly sickening and it's scary.
Is a line that's blurred all too often.
On 2020. We'll be right back.
So it'll be like it'll be applesauce or whatnot, and be like, oh, we're gonna such and such, me and such, and maybe it's just me, maybe it's too coincidental, maybe it's not. So I like to sit up here and like watch this big screen TV, payment on it and stuff, and do this like stuff.
We're here with Donald Trump Jr. The book is Triggered.
And so whether you're at the Barnes and Nobles or whether you're at picking up the book and stuff like that, whether you're keeping up with current events,
I think he's going to win, but
and so
all time.
And so that's basically what it is. The chief complaints of what it is like Triggered, and you say, well, I haven't read the book, right? I don't read a lot of books, so. I know, Trump Jr. is like what it is. Like, for example, what happened today. Look at the track. I'm not doing any policy. Okay, so listen to that. Horn goes off, right? Everybody split you now. You're expected to not do this to people, but people would expect, people do it. It's okay for people to do this to you. I don't understand how that kind of concept works in general. Like, even if you have a five-way split of society, even if you have like a radical change in society. The rough around the edges parts, that's the byproduct of radicalization that just isn't, that leans too much on people like me. And, we're not given the credit, we're discredited, and you're not given the credit, respect, or whatever, yeah, whatever, all that, ongoing.
That's what we're up against. So again,
and we're discredited continually.
Americans get it. I believe in the
and
hardworking
we're
men
expected
and
to
women
be
that my
stood
father
up
ran
and
for.
then to be knocked down and stuff like that and stuff and dragged along.
Probably it wasn't his
And
turn.
some type of puppeteer is what you call it.
He's been talking about these things
With
for my
lines
kids.
so blurred that the people that are doing these things don't understand that they're doing it as out of intent of ill feelings and stuff like that, or like their mistake in general. There's a moral decay in it. You know what I mean? So given that and like you 17 me, I'm like, yeah, that's right. Because it's just too often where you sit up here, you wake up at 2 in the morning, you wonder why you're sitting up there doing circles in the living room and stuff like that, and then you go back to sleep and wonder why that whole happened. You know what I mean? And like
those same voters need to be able to do the same thing.
and so
they gotta get out.
and so people say, oh, well, I got it bad and stuff like that. Well, that's not any of my business to be like, you know what I'm saying? If you're trying to do comparison, you can't do that since I can't do that to you.
Life, liberty, and Levin.
So on this interface of life, liberty, and Levine.
Evening, everyone, and welcome to the Next Revolution. I'm Steve.